Conservation by Design is the Nature Conservancy's framework for developing impactful and equitable strategies to achieve our ambitious 2030 goals and advance our mission. In other words, it guides our conservation teams in selecting and managing strategies that give TNC the best chance of addressing the biodiversity and climate crises and making the future better for nature and people. In 2024, we released an updated version of Conservation by Design to improve this core resource for teams across TNC. This introductory video and the rest of the orientation course are designed to help you learn about and prepare to use the latest version of Conservation by Design. Since its launch in 1996, Conservation by Design has always been and continues to be focused on strategy development and improvement. At its core, strategy development is the process of deciding which actions your team should pursue to give you the greatest likelihood of achieving your goals given the context in which you're working. To help teams with this, the updated Conservation by Design is structured as a set of 9 modules. Each module addresses a specific step or aspect of planning to help teams develop impactful and equitable strategies. The modules address how to center equity in strategy development and how to thoughtfully explore and select strategies that best address the core problems the team is focused on and the outcomes it seeks to achieve. The next video in this course provides more details on each of the modules. As already noted, Conservation by Design helps teams with strategy development and improvement. At TNC, we define strategy as a coherent body of actions that contribute to our 2030 goals. Strategies answer the question, what should we do to achieve our goals? Projects, which are the building blocks of strategies, answer the question, how should we implement our work? Conservation by Design is focused on strategies, with projects developed after your team aligns on its strategic approach through Conservation by Design. Strategies are characterized by a theory of change and guided by a monitoring, evaluation, and learning plan. Importantly, the Conservation by Design modules walk your team through the steps to develop these core strategy components. Together, the theory of change and the monitoring, evaluation, and learning plan equip you to adaptively manage your strategy to determine if you're heading towards the impact you seek and whether adjustments to your approach are needed as you gather evidence about what's working versus not. The new version of Conservation by Design includes updates to better support conservation teams in developing strategies in our ever-changing context. The updates were guided by feedback we received from staff all across TNC over a 3-year period, making this update a true One Conservancy effort. Much of the feedback we heard focused on finding the right balance between rigor and practical application, right-sizing the amount of time spent on planning, and helping teams navigate towards more equitable and impactful strategies. In response to this feedback, we made 3 key changes. First, Conservation by Design now takes a modular approach. Each of the 9 modules shown earlier can be used on its own or in sequence with other modules. The modular approach helps your teams be efficient with planning by enabling you to select the subset of modules that are most relevant to your strategy development needs, rather than always expecting you to complete every module. Second, Conservation by Design now has a more functional and streamlined design. The modules can cut your planning time in half or even more over previous versions of Conservation by Design, so you can transition more quickly to implementation and learning by doing. We also worked with TNC teams across the globe to ensure the modules are relevant to diverse needs and contexts. Finally, the new version of Conservation by Design has a deepened focus on equity and the 2030 goals. It does this by making 3 key principles centering equity, harnessing evidence, and focusing on impact more actionable in the new modules. Now that a new set of modules is ready, we're shifting our focus to helping conservation teams successfully use the modules. Feedback from staff indicates that a trained facilitator is invaluable for using the modules effectively and efficiently. Towards that, we're undertaking a 2-step process to train module facilitators. First, we're running a pilot training program for a cohort of approximately 100 staff. These individuals were identified for this training based on the role they serve on their team, with the support from their team's leadership. This pilot will give us key learnings to improve our training approach before a larger rollout. Toward that, the second step later this spring will be to have an official organization-wide launch, which will include a new website and a plan for additional learning opportunities. We're excited for you to begin using the updated version of Conservation by Design. We believe that you'll find Conservation by Design to be a truly valuable resource for conservation planning. Our team is here to support you in learning about the new set of modules and successfully using them. And together, we can build more impactful and equitable strategies that enable us to achieve our 2030 goals.